So any other questions, any comments, anything you'd like to say, feel free. I'm always looking for feedback, positive or negative.
This is a gorgeous place. I took a lot of photos. That's what I was doing while we were walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also tend to add a bit of realism. For example, the Tiki Bar is one of Linda Kelly's old creations. I modified that so that the roof was not halfway with no poles supporting it, to bring the roof all the way around. And then I put in some bars strategically placed, because where would you store the beach chairs and the umbrellas if you don't have a place to store them? So I think that's important to add those little tidbits of realism. Believe it or not, new users do pay attention to that. They want to understand and say, well, if they go to a virtual world and they're like, okay, this doesn't make sense, but if they go to a place like this and they see a lot of familiar things, and there's some attention to detail in the build itself, they're like, oh, this is pretty cool, and they want to come back and they want to learn more and they want to experiment. Now, if anybody wants to take a boat ride as we are winding up the session, it looks like we have some time to do that. All right, now you can, I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit. I hear a jet ski behind me. You can sit in any of the passenger seats inside the boat, but there are also some other sits. There's one on the back of the boat. There are two on the front of the boat, or on the stern and the bow for those nautically inclined. I also do little things when I build, like you'll notice there are life rings or life preservers. These are around on every one of the docks in this bar as legally required. I also do things like strategically placing the windsock for all the helipads within 100 yards, like it's supposed to be for a real world environment. And those little details matter. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a 4x4 VAR, so there are quite a few things to see here. This particular island is hollowed out on the inside, and there would be dinosaurs, zombie NPCs, a dragon that flies. So I call that Fantasy Island, but there is no Mr. O'Rourke. This area over here is the party zone, where we have a monthly event. And it is dedicated to Oddball O'Toole, who isn't around anymore. But that basic retro stage was his creation. All I did was get the script working for the lights. Of course, there's a little beach area here. And some more jet skis on our left. A lot of the Seder Farm objects are interactively on the island, can be used for other things. Back in this environment, we have a lake house where we have some games, offices for information. Lear has been over in the games with us before, and I change those out all the time. To the right, of course, there's some rocks with some waves, and sounds in the waves are actually real sounds that were taken by researchers, as well as what you'll see coming up here are two orcas. And if you turn your sounds on, you will hear the real sound of what orcas sound like.